Far and Away Mobile Pet Grooming provides professional grooming services right outside your home. Their state-of-the-art mobile grooming salon won't disturb your neighbors with loud noises or smelly fumes, providing a less stressful grooming experience with no more contact with other pets and their germs. With nearly 50 years combined professional grooming experience, Village's residents Eric and Sharon McFarland bring their expertise and full line of competitively priced services to your home. Big dogs or small, they do them all. I trust them with my Sully and Lily, and you can trust them with yours. Far and Away, they're the best mobile groomer in the Villages. Well, hello everyone, it's Don and welcome to Gold Wingnut Live. It's Father's Day. I hope everybody's having a great Father's Day. Our today's show sponsor is Far and Away Mobile Pet Grooming. You just saw their ad, and that one jumping around was my Sully. He's such a good dog. We are blessed to have him. Other sponsors for the show this week are, of course, our Magic Stairs, for if you need access to your attic, it's the best way to go. Black Dog Garage Floors. I think it beats doing the coat of paint that they call epoxy. Surf to Turf home inspections. Tom does a great job inspecting your home. So if you just bought a house and you need your home inspected, or you're coming up on that 11 to 12 month window and you need your home inspected again, Tom's the man to go see. Kitchen-wise and closet-wise, after you get into your home, it's time to do some fixing up, some stuff that most, the villages won't do, or they'll do at a ridiculously high price. Country Village power equipment for golf carts. If you need a golf cart, they're definitely the way to go. And our new sponsor is Shade Masters. If you're looking for plantation shutters, the blinds for your garage, blinds for your porch, any kind of blinds you want, they're the place to go to. Let's see. So what do we got going on here? Let's see. Don asked, what are they putting into Brownwood Theater? Yep, watch is beeping away again. We're going to turn that off. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going in Brownwood Theater. I've been looking. I can't find any documentation on it yet. Costco is coming along. I've got a treat for you all. 157 is, I got to find it here. There it is. Is that it? I think that's it. Yeah. So video 157. The only thing left is the voiceover. I was distracted yesterday. I was watching the Army 250th birthday parade that was happening in Washington, D.C., and boy, it was great to see that happening. To all my brethren who served in the Army, happy birthday to you, my friends. I was Navy. Our 250th birthday is coming up, just as the 250th birthday of our country is coming up. Debbie and I were talking, and we were talking about the bicentennial in '76. I was living in Turkey at the time. My dad was was in the Air Force, and we were stationed at the Karmürsel Air Force Base in Karmürsel, Turkey. And we had a great bicentennial celebration, and it was a good time. I missed many of the celebrations here in the States. Looking forward to 250. At the time, the thought of 250 back then, I knew I was going to be an old man. Boy, I didn't miss the mark there. Yeah. Let's see, what else do we got here coming in? Again, Costco's coming. Like I said, I've got 157. It's queued up. I'm going to play it as I continue to talk. No sound. I'm going to make sure the sound is turned off, so that way we don't have to listen to the ads. Let's see what else. Costco's moving quickly. Hello, Jim. Hello. David's here. Jerry's here. Did you lose power yesterday? We had a flicker, but in the evening. Other than that, no, we didn't lose any power in Moultrie Creek. When I got here this morning, I'd have been resetting all the clocks if we did. Happy Father's Day, everyone, human and dog dads. Yeah. Dan says, King's Day was a great success, LOL. We'll hold off on talking about King's Day. Is Black Dog floor only in Florida? Yeah, Don, I can't pronounce his last name. It's a long Italian last name, begins with an F, and he usually watches the show. He lives here in the Villages, and he's been doing these floors for a couple of years now. When he approached me about advertising, I wanted to see his product. I saw it. I knew that it was going to be the right choice. Remember, I ride a motorcycle. You'll get to see that actually here in just a minute. But I've seen what motorcycle side stands do to the epoxy floors. It just peels them right up. Same thing with the center stands if you have one. Watching U.S. Open as well. Well, I watched a little bit of it, but yeah. Tim says it was a great parade. Yes, it was. So John, I'm assuming you're saying love Black Dog floor. I'm assuming you put them in also. All right. So we are caught up. So let's go ahead. I'm going to queue up. I think I got it right here. Let me double check. Yep, 157 test 2. So after I get through each stage of my editing, I'll do a test burn where I render it. That takes about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, just depends on what I'm rendering it. So this is the last one I did. This is the one I do right before I do the voiceovers. So yeah. So let's go ahead and queue it up. And why isn't it? Oh, because I haven't had to play. Let's see. All right. So I'm not sure if you're getting audio. Oh, yeah.
Hi, everyone. It's Don.
So I'm assuming you're getting that audio.
For video number 157 of the construction happenings here in the Villages. In this video, we're going to take a look at some of the construction going on throughout the Villages, and especially we're going to look at the Woodlands Championship Golf Course.
That's my gold one.
I've done an 18-hole flyover of it, so let's get started.
All right, we're going to kill the sound on that because I haven't done the voiceover yet, but it's playing. That is the clubhouse for the Woodlands Championship Golf Course that's playing right now. Let's see. All right. Happy Go Lucky says, folks in Villages Southbound Facebook group are saying the developer should build a movie theater in the Eastport and operate it at a loss because they have so much money. Thoughts on that flawed logic? Well, Happy Go Lucky, I think you nailed it right on the head. It's flawed logic. They are in business to make money. That is the job of businesses, to make money. They're not giving anything away. So there you go. We have showing here, this is the gas station over at Costco. You can see they got the pumps in. I'm not sure when they're planning to open it up, but it's coming along quickly. But yeah, I think your comment is right on the mark. It's flawed logic. They're going to lose money, so why do it? What year did they do away with the insane asylum? Yep. Let's see. Caveman says, are any of the new neighborhoods going to allow metal roof? I don't know. We'll have to see what they do. The only neighborhood that I know of that has metal roofs is the cottages over next to Lake Sumter Landing. But that's about it. So I'm assuming the audio has stopped now because I have a thing on my screen here that I'm looking at, and it shows the audio volumes, and it's showing nothing right now. Besides, there is no audio in this section. Yeah. All right. Again, this is Costco. You can see it's coming along really well. Will they make August? I think so. This is Walmart, and we're going to be a while on Walmart, I think. So let's see. Muskie says the usual spots. The Democrats protested the 2 roundabouts at Morris and Lake Sumter. For some odd reason, the villages had sprinklers going for precisely the time protesters were to start. Oh well. Steve says, speaking of movie theaters, any news about the old movie theater in Brownwood? It's been vacant for a few years now. No, nothing on Brownwood. Again, I haven't found any documentation, so there you go. As soon as I do, I'll let everybody know. Jerry says, are the Brownwood lofts on the market? Not that I'm aware of. That would be a new one I've not heard of. The lofts is another part of the villages. I don't know what their plans are. It would be a shame if they were to sell it off, because I think having a third party running it would be a mistake, because they don't have the vested interest that the developer has in it. And don't forget, there's also a recreation center there. Debbie goes there every Wednesday and plays samba. And she plays samba on Tuesday and on Monday, and on Friday she goes to bingo, and Saturday she goes to bingo, and Sunday she plays samba, and she keeps it going. Okay. Let's see. I drove around, Muskie says, I drove around for almost an hour and a half. Oh, here we go. See this right here? I'm going to pause this. Let me see if I can pause it. Let's change topics real quick. So what this is that you're looking at on the screen, this came up the 13th. What was that? Friday. So this was plans that were submitted to the Southwest Florida Water Management District. It's a retail development, and where this is at, across the bottom is the old 470. You see the lollipop on the right. That's the where they just stopped 470 right at Marsh Bend Trail, and that's the traffic circle. The fire station is just to the south of it. This is a large commercial area that's looking to be built. Going from the bottom up, the first road that goes into Marsh Bend Trail, that connects, that on the other side of the Marsh Bend Trail is where the village of Lakeview entry is. And so that's going to be an interesting intersection. Most interesting is, let me see. Oh, I can't show you a mouse. So where the green text is, just gone away. All right, so the biggest unit, the fourth one up on the left, is 5,500 square feet. It sounded like a grocery store to me. But these are not the typical, what do they call it, Class C retail space. If you look at all the strip malls, they're normally about 1,000 to 1,200 square feet. These are all about 6,000 to 8,000 square feet, except for the one at the very top. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going on. And the out parcels, which are the 4 parcels on the right, where one of them goes, the road coming in from Marsh Bend Trail, those go right between them. Those are about 50,000 square feet, I think 47,500 square feet. So I'm not sure what's going in there, but it's an interesting turn of events that's happened. So we'll keep follow on that one. Amazingly, I hadn't heard anything about this as a county commissioner, and kind of scratching my head on that one. It's not the villages doing this, though. Caveman, it's 55,000 square feet, Caveman. Let me see, if I play this a little longer, I'm going to play this a little bit more, because there's another section coming up. There we go. I'm going to pause it again. So yeah, building space is 143,000 square feet. And you can see at the bottom where it says parking calculations, it's based on square footage, and you can see there are 18,000, 22,000, 22,000, 55,000, 18,950 square feet. So these are big retail establishments coming in. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. We're going to definitely keep a close eye on this one, though. Let me restart the video. Yeah, Muskie, you know, with your car, Muskie, she's got a beautiful car. It's very pro-President Trump. Yeah, so yeah, she would definitely get their attention. There's my Sully again. He's such a good boy. And that's my Lily, the darker one. A. Stewart says, taco megacrats, maybe Democrats knit appropriate. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Trump hate signs should be banned in the villages. Yeah, I mean, honestly, what I saw at the No Kings rally was a lot of all negativity. And what I saw in the golf carts parades that were celebrating were all very patriotic, very positive. It's just amazing. So anyway, there we go. Let's see. After creating such amazing places to live, it must be a constant kick in the teeth to the developer when so many villagers complain about so much so often. You know, I have a few connections, a few friends that in management, and they don't say any. The family doesn't say anything about the negative comments. They don't respond to them, and I think that's the right answer. I think they do the right thing by not responding to them. That's Hooters right now. That's on the screen, I think if they responded, all it would do would be adding gasoline to the fire. So I respect them for the position that they take. They are very quiet about things like that. Yeah, so 55,000 square feet. Victoria says, what area in the South, new construction to be built, would you be close enough to but far enough away from Eastport nightly entertainment noise? How that makes sense. So Victoria wants to know, close enough to Eastport, but far enough away so you don't get to enjoy the music every night from your dining room table. I think it would be a fair way to assess it. Would you say, Victoria? Water's Edge, Shady Brook, Moultrie Creek, definitely, because you've got a lot of the buildings in the way. After that, Oak Hollow, probably not too bad once they build the village of LaGrange. The village of LaGrange, man, they're going to get to enjoy the music every night, especially those folks on the water. Same thing with the folks over in Lakeview. So, yeah, it's, yeah. I'm trying to think, what's the other village over there? Edenfield, that's what I'm trying to think of. The northern sections of Edenfield, the area that they've sold already, Unit 173, would be ideal because you're going to have plenty of houses between you and Eastport, but you're still close enough and you're still far enough away from the turnpike. When you start talking about the eastern side of Edenfield, I'm going to be kind of leery of that because of the turnpike noise. Let's see. Okay. Rich says, hi, Don. I watched a video from a real estate agent that wants the villages to have late hours in the summer for live entertainment. Would the village's insurance be higher would the TV insurance be higher for later hours. I don't know. You know, I've seen some of these realtors that make some of these videos. They say realtor, real estate agents. I guess you have to, yeah, you got to be, never mind. We go back to that. Make some interesting claims. One guy was going on about the property taxes, and never mind. It's just not worth it, the effort. I don't know if it would affect their insurance. You know, the problem is, man, in the villages, the sidewalks roll up at 9 o'clock, and by 10 o'clock they turn off the stars to save power. You know, it's always been 5 to 9, and I don't think they're going to change it. Would musicians charge more for later hours? I don't know. Was suggesting name calling started by Mushke was opening a can of worms here. Taco. Okay, let's stop with the name calling. Just ignore the negative Nancys. If they don't like it, they can move. I would agree. You're not a I don't think, Stuart, you're being a negative Nancy. Let's see. Happy Go Lucky says, do you think any big box retail development will come to Central Parkway 470 in the vicinity of the Turnpike down the road? Seems like a good future location. I would agree. Yeah, I would agree. I think that's a good location for it, but we'll see what comes. That's still probably a couple of years down the road. All right. Let's, Stuart and whoever else, Steve, let's take it down a notch. You know, we don't need to be that way, okay? Enough with the name callings. Okay, let's go. Mark says, hi, Don. What is going on with the Barnstorm Theater? A lot of work there, but still no word. Yeah, again, I don't know. I haven't heard anything on the Barnstorm Theater. And Jim wants to know about the 470 bridge and having a golf cart path. Yeah, I don't, I haven't heard any more. They're still working on it. It's moving fairly slow. They've started working on both sides. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to I'm going to keep kind of track on that. This is the San Tropez Recreation Center. It opens up Thursday. So lots going on. All right, so Roxy says, hi, Don. To everyone wondering about the noise coming from the turnpike and the squares, it depends on where the wind is coming from, or is it still, or if it's very still, the sound carries. I would agree, Roxy. I mean, my house in the village of Hillsborough, it's at the corner of Hillsborough Trail and Buena Vista at 5 o'clock in the morning, sitting on the front porch, reading the newspaper, drinking a cup of coffee with the dogs. I could hear the turnpike traffic, and the turnpike was a couple of miles away. I mean, we're talking, I was, a mile from Brownwood, and it's another 2 miles or so from Brownwood to the turnpike. So yeah, you can hear it. It just all depends. Becky wants to know, will the Walmart being built be golf cart accessible? At this point, I would say no. There's no way to access it. Both roads are 45 mile an hour or greater roads, so therefore golf carts can't cross it. They either have to go over a bridge or they have to go under in a tunnel. And then connecting it to where? There's a bunch of wetlands there by Thai villas. So there's really not a way to tie into the golf cart bridge. I don't see it happening at all. Victoria, thank you. Appreciate the donation. Let's see. So West Virginia Hillbilly. I like people from West Virginia. They got a great attitude. Yeah, I had a lot of friends that were stationed on the USS West Virginia, or as they called it, the West by God Virginia. It was a great ship. But anyway, Who do you use for a vet? My older dog is starting to have seizures. I use Jumper Creek Veterinarian Clinic. Dr. Yates is the main vet there, and there's another lady, I never can remember her name, she also works there. Jumper Creek Veterinarian is in Bushnell. It's just north of South Sumter High School. It's on 475. Great, great vet. Did a great job with my Lily and her puppies. If you go there, ask to see Gus. Gus is Lily and Jesse's son, and he is the house dog, if you will. He looks just like his dad, too. Anyway, so yeah, that's the vet I would go to. Again, it's Jumper Creek Veterinary Clinic, and it's down in Bushnell. John says, sorry for my bi-weekly question. Anything new on the grocery stores in Eastport or Middleton? No, nothing new. Actually, the drawing I showed you earlier was probably the best information I've seen yet on a, let me see, let me find there it is. Let's go back to that. There's the drawing again for that. I think that, let me, too many things going on here. There it is. There we go. This right here, this one is 55,000 square feet. Looks like a high probability for a grocery store. And you can see right about here, there's a bunch of handicap accessible parking. We'll see. We'll see what it comes up. Let's see. But beyond that, I haven't heard anything on what's going in anymore in Eastport or Middleton. Right now, over in Middleton, they are working on the Middleton Hotel, which is right in front of the high school. So that's a good sign, I guess. Dan Lehman says, wishing they would move the music indoors at Brownwood Theater. Wouldn't have to worry about the weather. You know, we've had a few times where the weather has canceled it. Whether, you know, it's too cold, it drops below, I think, 45. They cancel it. People just don't turn out. And of course, the rain is always a potential. The good thing about the rain, though, most of the time, is it's very short-lived. It doesn't stick around very long. So I don't think it's that big of a deal. Yes, when the storms come, they cancel it. Now, Eastport, in fact, you can see it on the screen right now, they've put a canopy just similar to what they have over in Sawgrass Grove. So that'll be a nice addition. Steve says, Walmart won't spend the money on a golf cart path. They're too cheap. Yeah, I know. They can't even have cash. They don't even have cashiers anymore, hardly. So Mike O says, I didn't catch the diagram. Let me put that back. The diagram there, again, nothing has been officially announced on what's going in there. We're going to keep a close eye on it. But it is again adjacent to the prison property. It's right near Station 48, and it does have the potential for some very large retail stores. 20, 30,000 square feet. It's pretty good sized stores. Let's see. Victoria says Eastport Hotel looks like it's coming together. When I was there in April, didn't look like it in your drone footage. Okay, yeah. So they're still doing the foundations and that. They haven't gone vertical yet, but we'll see. That's not going to be in 57. I got time 157 was time constraints because of the golf course flyover. So that's on my agenda for 158. Let's see. Jay Cozy says, Don, your thoughts on Eastport parking. Do you think there will be enough? Yeah, I do. Because you got to remember, with Eastport, you've got hotel parking, you've got recreation parking, you've got ballpark parking, and retail parking. So there's a lot of parking lots there. So I don't have an exact count, but I'm trying to dig that up because I've got all the diagrams. It's just a matter of doing the math and finding the right diagram to do it. But I'll figure out how many spots there are, but it looks like close to 1,000 spots. Hot Job KT says, Don, isn't parking in a grocery store lot typically angled to create a one-way drive lanes? The drawing showed non-directional parking. You're right, and I had that same thought when I saw it. You know, if it's not a grocery store, that's going to be the anchor store. And what it will be is anybody's guess. Personally, I'd love to see a Best Buy. As much as I go to Best Buy, it saved me a lot of gas money. Because I mean, I really hate going up to Lady Lake area. It's just such a long drive. Listen to this whining here. Long drive. It's really not that long of a drive. But anyway, here we're looking at Eastport and some of the downtown area. That's the Eastport Hotel up in the upper right-hand corner. So, you know, maybe it is grocery, maybe not. I don't know, but we're going to find. We'll watch it as it comes along. Any idea what the Blue Star will be in Eastport? No, I mean, they are. They are so tight-lipped about Eastport. It's unbelievable. I've been trying to find out information. I can't find anything. And it's, you know, they're keeping it under wraps. I mean, and I understand that. They don't want people like me spreading the word of what's going on. So in the next video, not this one that's coming out hopefully tomorrow, but the one after, I'm going to take some flights around Middleton and show you all the different stores that are going in there and where they're at, so you get a good idea. There's a lot happening in Middleton. Is Muskie? Yeah, you're doing some name calling. So let's rise above the name calling and just be civil, please. My guess is something along the lines of Kohl's. Yeah, it could be. C.K. Murphy says, Don, when are the final lots, Oak Hollow lots being released? So what I'm seeing in Oak Hollow, what's left to be released is patio villas, courtyard villas, and verandas. And some of those are under construction. I flew that. Was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. I went out and did some flying. And that's one of the things I did see was I'll get it out in a second. The veranda homes are starting, and so are some of the courtyard villas. So I think the next set of homes will probably be the first ones that we see in Edenfield. Unless I've missed one of the sections, you know, there's still a few lots available, but it looks like Edenfield is next on the agenda. Happy Go Lucky says, Don, do you think Eastport will have a strong 50s, 60s look, or will it be just hints there, here and there? Looks eclectic now, but we'll see. We will see. Yeah, I mean, a lot of 50s and 60s style storefronts, it looks like. And you see that, you know, in the golf cart store. the chrome flashy stuff, the car on the roof. That's all very 60s and 50s, which that was a long time ago. When you think about it, that's 75 years ago. That's ancient history. I mean, there's only a few of us. Well, I'm not in that group, but there's only a few that are really alive right now that were teenagers during that area. I mean, you're going to be in your 90s. So, really not. So what you see on the screen right now is the Beautyberry and Honeysuckle executive golf courses, and these are in CDD 16. Well, actually, the golf courses aren't in the CDD. They're not part of the CDD, but in the CDD 16 area. That's Marsh Bend Trail on the left and Bar Boulevard at the top of the screen. But yeah, I think it's going to look 50s and 60s. Oh, Roxy says, there was a hair salon that was trying to open there, and the developer wouldn't give them an answer. Yeah. I mean, the other thing that might be going in that place is, we got to have a mattress store, we got to have a cell phone store, Chinese food restaurant, a nail salon, so, the typical. The other thing is with those 4 out parcels, man, we need a Bankers Row down in the Middleton area. We've got one on 466, we got one on 466A, we've got one on 44, we've got one up in the Lady Lake area. We need a Bankers Row down here, so could be, who knows. Why are the shops in Middleton so close to the high school? Because Middleton is close to the high school. Just the way they wanted to do it. I can't answer for what their grand plan was, but they wanted it to be part of the community, if you will, the high school and the businesses all being part of the community. And if you go down to Victory, it's got a very different feel in that restaurant compared to other restaurants. There's always a lot of young people, teenagers are in there. What I found amazing is I've gone there for, I went there for a beer at 3 in the afternoon, and there were high school kids there when school was in that were, I guess, eating an early dinner or getting drinks or ice cream or whatever. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's a definite different feel. Even Magnolia Plaza, I see when I go up there, you see a lot of young people in golf carts coming out of the Middleton area. So, yeah. Again, I think it's just part of the way the community is going. Joe says, have you thought, what are your, yeah. So they're doing Havana, they're doing all 3 courses. That's on my agenda. Hopefully this week or next week, I'm going to get up there and do those. I've flown them before. Have I flown Havana before? Yeah, I've flown those golf courses before. So I already have the tracks laid out. They're a pre-programmed flight that I can do. So that's actually a pretty easy thing to do. Poodle Fan says, what happened to the European theme the villagers originally showed in their Eastport promo video? That European theme area seems to be that enclave of buildings just to the, which side would that be? Just to the west of the sales office. And, so that's where I think that's going to be. It's definitely a collection of a lot of different themes, it seems like. So what you're seeing right now is I call it the front 9 of Woodlands Championship Golf Course. On the left side is Oak Hollow. So you can see there's some pretty long holes here on this, but we'll get back to that. All right, so you know what? I need to go get some more coffee. I'll be right back. We're going to hear from our sponsor. Fur & Away Mobile Pet Grooming provides professional grooming services right outside your home. Their state-of-the-art mobile grooming salon won't disturb your neighbors with loud noises or smelly fumes, providing a less stressful grooming experience with no more contact with other pets and their germs. With nearly 50 years combined professional grooming experience, Village's residents Eric and Sharon McFarland bring their expertise and full line of competitively priced services to your home. Big dogs or small, they do them all. I trust them with my Sully and Lily, and you can trust them with yours. Fur & Away, they're the best mobile groomer in the Villages. All right, I'm back. Got me some extra coffee. Got to stretch my legs a little bit because, man, I get tired of sitting in this chair. What's amazing is when I was on a submarine, I used to spend 6 hours in a chair watching the reactor plant control panel. That was my job when I was a young Navy guy. And as I got more senior, I started being the engineering watch supervisor, so I spent all my time walking around the engine room, and that was a much better job. All right, so Jennifer says, do you think they will start selling Edenfield lots next week? You know, yeah. If not next week, the week after. I think that's what's coming. They just sold, I think, the last set of properties went up for sale over in Shady Brook. There were some patio villas. So I think that's what we're going to see in the next week or two, Edenfield coming up. Let's see what's coming else. So where are we at here? Oh yeah, so this is the back nine. This is hole 3. On the left side of the screen is unit 173. That's in Oak Hollow. What's on the right side of the screen is in the village of Edenfield. Hey Don, math lesson. Those of us in our 80s were teenagers in the 50s and 60s. Okay, so, all right, got to remember, I'm sitting here reading this, trying to think of 100 things at one time. So sometimes the math slips my brain, which is sad because I'm usually pretty good at math. But so in your 80s, Joe, man, I'm in my early 60s. I hope to see my 80s. You know, I was a teenager in the 70s. Graduated from high school in '79. So there you go. All right, let's see. Jay Cozy says, if you have a designer home that backs to a fence in a veranda neighborhood, who's responsible for the fence? So I'm going to say probably you are if you back up to that fence. Look at your deed restrictions. It talks about that specifically. Each subdivision, each unit, if you will, has different deed restrictions, and they specifically call out maintenance responsibility for the walls. You know, my house over in the village of Hillsborough, I was on a corner. I am on a corner because I still own the house for another, hopefully 2 weeks, maybe 3. But I have a huge wall, and it's along Buena Vista, and it's along Hillsborough Trail. Plus I have a vinyl fence on the front side of my house and a vinyl fence between Joe and Alicia and my house. So, you know, and I'm responsible for all those. The exterior side of it, the villages are responsible for painting and that. Where it gets kind of iffy is, let's say somebody runs through the wall. Who repairs that? And man, every time I read that, it looked like I was responsible if somebody goes through and runs through a fence. So that's kind of scary. So it looks like, hey, the video is over. You've gotten a sneak peek. I hope you enjoyed it. Once we get done here, I found out we're not playing samba tonight. My good friends Ron and Marianne, they had a moving sale for the last 2 days, so they're a little bit tired, and they have asked to bow out of samba tonight. So I'm going to miss playing samba, but I'll stay here and work all night on the what you call it, the voiceovers. But anyway, let's see. So Braden says, I haven't been in the area since March, but at the time I looked, it looked like they were preparing to start building in front of the Middleton School, in front of the middle school in Middleton. Is more houses or commercial development? So it was scheduled to be some townhouses, but that got changed. They've expanded the parking lot there. I think it's going to be more commercial development there, just because they expanded the parking lot. Let's see. I know today. So Happy Olika says, I know today may be tough for you, but please take comfort in all the love and support you gave your son. Thank you. You know, sometimes things like that, you just kind of, you really, I suppress it. I deal with things like that by delving into my work. My wife thinks I'm crazy, and she's pretty much right. I am crazy. I'm a workaholic. But better to burn out than to fade away is the way I look at it. But David was a good man. I miss him dearly. Life dealt him some pretty tough cards, and he handled it well all his life. All right, sorry. Dan says, you should be on the developer's payroll since people watch Wingnut videos all over the world. You have made them millions. You know, I don't know what I've made them, and I don't care. I don't want to be on their payroll because, quite honestly, as soon as I take a dime of their money, I'm limited on what I can say, okay? And I've said a few things here already today, talking about Lakeview. And I said I wouldn't live there because the homes are too close to Eastport and you're going to get to enjoy the music too much. If I was on the developer's payroll, I couldn't say something like that. I couldn't say anything negative. I've heard stories of realtors and other people that have worked for the developer that have said things and no longer work for the developer. And I can't confirm any of those, but you know, it is what it is. All right. Let's see. What video number do you explain the bond? Ken, I will tell you, go to my YouTube channel, the same, try that again. On this YouTube channel, click on the playlists, and you'll see one for Villages information. There's a video there about the bond, the maintenance assessment, and the amenity fees. And I'll apologize for them now. Those were some of, the bond I think was my very first talkie, my very first time doing voiceovers. And it's terrible. It's terrible, terrible. And I apologize. But the information is still good. It's on my slate of things to do to redo the bond maintenance assessment and amenities videos, just because there's new information, things have changed. Let's see. C.K. Murphy says, is there ways to get advanced upgrade pricing so we can better prepare for design appointments. As far as I know, no. I've never been through a design appointment or a design session. My first house I bought was a courtyard villa. The second house we've purchased is a veranda. Both are basically spec homes. So didn't go through that. But my understanding is you don't know what the price is until you get done picking all your options, then they show you the price, and then it's like, oh, well, maybe we got a little too much. I don't know. But now there's no way that I know of to get that information. Let's see. Roxy says, we all love our dads and dads love their kids. We bless them all, okay? Yes to the comment, much love, Donna Depp, thank you. Thank you, okay. Let's see. You know, one of the things that was on the trailer for this was the amenity fee. It's resurfaced again. Now apparently the AAC is going to take another look at putting in a cap. And, you know, there's people saying, well, the people up north should get a cap. And it's like, well, it doesn't work that way, okay? First off, a cap means that you don't keep up with inflation. And if you don't keep up with inflation, then maintenance is going to suffer, okay? These buildings, they need to be upgraded, renovated, replaced on occasion. You know, they're getting ready to start Paradise this summer. That's a $30 million project. That's a lot of maintenance assessment or amenity fee that they've had to save for that particular job. You know, putting a cap on it is, I understand people are on fixed income. We're all on fixed income. Guess what? That doesn't change the fact that prices go up. You know, you want them to stop. Some people want the prices to stop going up for the amenities because they got to pay more for milk and bread. Well, okay, what makes you think the price of maintaining these amenities isn't going up? So, yeah, trying to put a cap on this is just insane. It won't work. I got a question. Let me see. Let's go back to this one. And this was from a friend of mine, Charlie. I've known Charlie for a couple of years now. He's a drone pilot. He says, I am not in favor of an amenity fee cap with one small exception. I feel the amenity fee should be capped at the current going rate. And quite a few other people have amenity fees that are higher than the going rate for people that are currently buying a home. Going rate is $199. This was caused by the cost of living increases over the last 5 to 6 years being higher than the increases to the going rate. I know it's not a big deal, but it's the principle. If I sell my home, the new owner pays less and starts at a lower rate. Yeah, okay, there is that. It happens. I have contacted the district offices, all members of the AOC. I hope it wasn't, I think it means AAC, not AOC. PWAC and my district supervisors all indicate they can do nothing, and to contact one of the 4 groups listed that say they can help. Nobody wants to touch the subject. Anyway, I feel the annual increases should continue to be driven by the cost of living, but should never be more than the current rate, the cap. What are your thoughts? You know, it's just math. When we bought our house in Hillsborough, there was a $155 cap. But the prevailing rate, which is the going rate at the time, was $145. And a friend of mine, Jeff, he moved out of our Courtyard Villa community over into Gilchrist. And his amenity fee went down because it went to the prevailing rate of $145, and he was at $155. We laughed about it. Over the years, they've realized they had to change that. So now every year, the developer goes in, balances the books, figures out what it costs to run the amenities, and makes the required adjustments. Unfortunately, that's the only real way we have of trying to keep up, because the CPI adjustments don't keep up, because they're looking at, in my opinion, the wrong mix of things. So we're not going to see the amenities cap going, and there are legal ramifications too. There's interlocal agreements between the AAC project-wide, between Village Center Community Development District and Sumter Landing Community Development District, that prevents from people being treated differently for different areas of the villages. Sorry, looking at my show notes. I actually take notes and do a lot of prep work for this. Let's go back to some of the other stuff. Roxy says, Harry and the Natives about to open perhaps. So there was some footage of Harry and the Natives. They still got quite a bit of work to do, but it's going to be sometime this summer, I think, probably August, that we see it open up. Marilyn says, you said Paradise was starting this summer. What is Paradise? Paradise Recreation Center. It's one of the, I think it's the original recreation center. It's, oh my gosh, it's got to be close to 40 years old. And it's being raised and completely rebuilt. So that's happening over on the historic side of the villages. When you go across the bridge that goes over State Road, or 441-27, over by the hospital. So yeah, that's long overdue. I've been in there a few times, and it's looking a little worn. Okay, it's still a beautiful rec center, but it's starting to show its wear. So there we go. Let's go back to the amenity cap. Somebody on a certain website said Harold Schwartz wanted us to have a cap. So when did the cap come into play? Came into play 2009. Okay. When did Harold Schwartz die? December of 2003. So I never met Harold Schwartz. I would have liked to have met him. I have a lot of respect for businessmen who are willing to take a chance and follow a dream and pursue things. And I think Mr. Schwartz did that. I think bringing in his son, Gary Morris, was a great idea and really helped make the villages what it is today. And, over the years, they've brought in Gary Morris's children, Mark, Jennifer, and Tracy, and they have proven themselves to be very astute business people. I think they're doing a great job, and now the fourth generation of the family is involved. Tracy's daughter, I apologize, I've met the young lady a few times. She's on the charter school board. She's heavily involved with the design work in both Eastport, and she was really instrumental in the design of the new high school. So that's the fourth generation, and they're very astute business people, and I think they do a great job at what they do. But Harold Schwartz, I've had enough discussions with people that actually knew Mr. Schwartz. I've read enough history of the villages. He was a businessman. They said, well, Harold wouldn't have wanted it this way. Well, let me tell you what. We're living Harold's dream, okay? The first homes were built south of 44, not 44, 466 in 2003 or 2004, and again, Mr. Schwartz passed away in December of 2003. So CDD 5 came into existence March 19th, 2002. So Mr. Schwartz was involved with that. CDD 10, September 28th, 2004. He was involved in there. They purchased all that land at one time, as I understand it. So
it's 16 hours.
He was involved with that. If you don't think he was involved with the stuff going on south of 44, you don't understand how you make huge land purchases. They take years to perfect. He was involved with that, I firmly believe. They knew where Brownwood was going to go very, very early on. There's a video about the making of Brownwood. Let me bring that up. That talks about the timing. All right, so we got that queued up. I'm going to show you just a short clip of this. All right, we're going to play this.
Obviously, a project of this scope has to start with this and this and this. Tell us how that works.
Master planning involves a lot of master planning. Tracy can attest to the fact that this really began as a seed with the design team years and years ago. I would say a minimum of 5 or 6 years ago, and that predated any development south of the 466. So before the first house was built south of the 466, we had determined where Brownwood would be. And it's actually a very involved process that hopefully looks very simple when we're done. You know, to wind up with a town that looks like it's been there for decades.
All right. So they knew where Brownwood was going to go before the first house was built. I mean, so that's years in the planning. Mr. Schwartz was involved. So I think it's, would he have wanted a cap? Again, he was a businessman. I think he would have shut down Katie Bell's when it started losing money. They lost money for several years before they shut it down. I think he would have shut it down sooner. Great ideas to have these things, but if they're losing money, it's a bad proposition for a business. It's not the way you do business for very long. Let's see. Yeah, there was a comment on that same website about, well, the people in the North shouldn't be paying for the amenities in the South. Guess what? They're not. The amenities are built by the developer, paid for out of their money, and they're eventually sold. Those amenities that have been sold to the Sumter Landing Community Development District are paid for by the residents south of 466. Has nothing to do with the residents north of 466, but we have this agreement in place that ensures everybody gets treated the same. Let's see, 3 historic districts, okay. Thank you, Don. Morris family is very well in their order. Great family. Yeah, I mean, I've met Jennifer Parr once. I've met Tracy's daughter once. I've briefly said good morning to Mark Morris once. That's been my dealings with the family. Let's see. Again, back to cost rise over time. You can't get around it. Oh, excuse me. Wow. What else has come in? Anything exciting? All right. So I got a question for you. Where is the scariest road that you know of to drive a golf cart in the villages? I came across it the other night. Now, I got pretty good night vision, and I think I'm a pretty good driver, and this really scared the heck out of me driving down this road in a golf cart, because it was dark and it was raining and it was not a lot of fun. What do you guys think? Where do you think is the scariest place so far to drive? There's a few that are pretty scary, but this one really took the cake. For me, it was Marsh Bend Trail, the multimodal path that opened up about, what's it been, 7 months ago. It's scary. I mean, wow. Dan says, Morse Boulevard. We're out on Morse, Dan. So let me tell you more about Marsh Bend Trail. There's an area where it goes around the water tanks that are part of the city of Wildwood, over by Lakeview, and up around the 1 kilometer lake for Eastport, Central Lake, that's what it's called. That gets really dark back there. And also around the electrical substation for the Coleman Correctional Facility, that's really dark back there, and it's hard to see, and it's really bad in the rain. I ran off just a little bit. Hate the Megason crossing at Sawgrass. Yep, I would agree. Lake Sumter Bridge adjacent to the Morse Boulevard. Yep, that's another great one. So, yeah. Let's see. Where are we at here? Hot Jobs, Katie says, yep, going to be golf carts in the mossy ponds at night, dark 90-degree turns and trees overgrown, already definitely will be some accidents. Yeah, I agree. And you know, they're fighting the whole thing about the RPMs, roadway pavement markers. I'm a firm believer in them. I think they're great. You know, if you go on some of the paths where they are, you can see it, and it's definitely worthwhile. Do you suppose lights could be added to the Marsh Bend spots? They could, but that would set a really bad precedence, because again, I think Dan hit the nail on the head. The reflectors is really all that's needed. They work great. All the logic that the engineers have come up with, saying why they shouldn't be put in, is all out the window, because they're in a lot of places. If you go by just south of Magnolia Plaza on the golf cart path that parallels Marsh Bend Trail, there's a whole line of them before you get to that first tunnel and traffic circle. So the arguments of safety, they're being unsafe, people trip over them and all that, all out the window. And if people are tripping over them, why the heck are they walking in the middle of the cart path? Let's see. Anyway, where are we at? Holy mackerel, we're already after 4 o'clock. What else did I have on my list? I showed you that, the 157. Like I said, I'm going to work on that this evening. I'm looking forward to that. I've got plenty of coffee in me right now. I drink more than my share, and yeah, that's a golden retriever on my coffee cup. What can I say? You know, again, I got sponsors that help me put on the show. It's the only way that really makes this possible. I spend a lot of time. If I only got paid by what YouTube pays me, I couldn't afford a cup of coffee every hour for the work I do. Let's see, I have read here. So Simon says, I have read the villages have a number of acres. Not sure what you're talking about there, Simon. They have a lot of land that's still going to be developed. It goes another 7 miles south of Eastport, 7, maybe 8, all the way down to the Center Hill area. And then there's more land on the other side of 48 that they own over in the Mascot area. So it's they got a lot, another 20 years of building. Simon says, so the villages of Antrim Dells, have you heard anything about what is planned there? So yeah, Antrim Dells, they've acquired some more land. It looks like they're going to build some more courtyard villas back there. I think they said 80 villas. That's a little large for a courtyard villa community. Most are in the 40 to 60 home range, but 80 isn't unheard of. So not a bad thing. Better that than some of the other options that could have been built back there. So the residents lucked out, I think. They got lucky. All right. So I think it's time we wrap this up. Debbie's making me something for Father's Day. I don't know what it is, but I think I can smell it cooking. I got a reprieve. I didn't have to cook today. Normally when I come over on Sunday mornings, I walk the dogs and then I make breakfast for us. And I do some editing and some other stuff around the house, and then tonight I'll go back after, well, I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't go back to the apartment tonight. We'll see. I just play it by ear. What's happening to the village of Antrim Dells? So yeah, Muskie, what's happening at Antrim Dells is they acquired some more land just to the east of Antrim Dells along 44A, and they're going to be adding some more homes there. So that's what's going on. So anyway, please, again, support my sponsors. They really help me a lot in making this all possible. I enjoy doing this. Life is short, folks. Enjoy it while we can. Many of us are in the fourth quarter of the game, and I'm all about it's better to burn out than to fade away. So I'm going to keep going as long as I can, as hard as I can, and really try and enjoy life. I encourage you all to do the same. We're blessed to live in this country. We're blessed to live in this community. Thank you all for watching. We're going to call it a day. We'll rejoin. We'll do this again next week, same time, 3 o'clock, and look for video 157, hopefully tomorrow. I'm out of here.
Far and Away Mobile Pet Grooming provides professional grooming services right outside your home. Their state-of-the-art mobile grooming salon won't disturb your neighbors with loud noises or smelly fumes, providing a less stressful grooming experience with no more contact with other pets and their germs. With nearly 50 years combined professional grooming experience, Village's residents Eric and Sharon McFarland bring their expertise and full line of competitively priced services to your home. Big dogs or small, they do them all. I trust them with my Sully and Lily, and you can trust them with yours. Far and Away, they're the best mobile groomer in the Villages.